Hey Lisa, it's nice to finally catch up outside the office. I feel like we've been buried under reports and deadlines for weeks. How's everything going with you?
Tell me about it. I've been swamped with work too, but it feels good to take a breather. Everything's good, though. How about you? Any exciting plans coming up?
Not much, really. Just trying to get through this quarter without losing my sanity. Though I've been thinking about taking a short trip somewhere, just to recharge. Have you been anywhere interesting lately?
That sounds like a great idea. I haven't traveled much this year, but I did take a weekend getaway to the mountains last month. It was so peaceful. You should definitely do something like that.
The mountains, huh? That sounds perfect. I've been thinking about a nature retreat too. Sometimes, all this city noise gets overwhelming. But let's talk about something more fun. How's the team doing with the new project?
The team's been doing well. Everyone's adjusting to the new workflow, but there are still a few kinks to work out. I think the biggest challenge is making sure everyone's on the same page with the new software. How's your side of things?
Same here. We're still getting used to the new tools, but overall, it's been smooth. I just wish we had more time to really dig into it before the deadlines hit. Do you ever feel like we're just running from one project to the next?
All the time. It's like we barely finish one task before we're on to the next. But that's the nature of our work, I guess. Still, I try to find moments like this to unwind. Speaking of which, how's the coffee? This place is pretty nice, don't you think?
The coffee's great, and the atmosphere is even better. It's got that cozy vibe that makes you want to linger a bit longer. I'm glad you suggested this spot. Do you come here often?
Not as often as I'd like, but I've been here a few times. It's my go-to when I need to escape for a bit. There's something about the ambiance that just helps me relax and clear my head. What do you do to unwind?
Honestly, I've been trying to pick up new hobbies. I started learning guitar a few months back, but progress is slow. It's a nice distraction though. What about you? Any hobbies outside of work?
Guitar. That's awesome. I've always wanted to learn an instrument, but never found the time. I've been into painting lately. It's something I picked up during the lockdown, and it stuck with me. There's something therapeutic about it.
That sounds really cool. I can see how painting would be relaxing. Do you ever share your work? I mean, it's great to have something tangible to show for your efforts, unlike our daily grind.
I do actually. I've posted a few pieces online, mostly for fun. It's nice to get feedback, even if it's just from friends. Plus, it's a good way to connect with others who share the same interest. What about your music? Played for anyone yet?
Not yet, but I'm working up the courage. Maybe one day I'll play something for you, but for now, I'm sticking to practicing in private. It's nice to have something that's just for me, you know?
I totally get that. Having something that's just for you is important. It's easy to lose sight of personal goals when work takes up so much of our time. Speaking of which, where do you see yourself in a few years? Still in the same role?
Good question. I've been thinking about that a lot lately. I enjoy what I do, but I can see myself moving into a leadership role eventually. I'd love to have more influence on the direction of our projects. How about you? Any long-term goals?
I'm on the same page. I've been eyeing a management position as well. I feel like it would be a natural progression, and I'm ready for more responsibility. But I also want to keep growing outside of work. Maybe even start a side business someday.
A side business? That sounds intriguing. What kind of business are you thinking about? I've always admired people who can juggle work and a side hustle. It's like having the best of both worlds.
I've been toying with the idea of opening an online shop for my paintings. Nothing big, just a small venture. It's still in the brainstorming phase, but who knows? Maybe one day it'll take off. Have you ever thought about doing something like that?
I have actually. I've always wanted to write a book, but it's more of a distant dream right now. Maybe when things slow down a bit at work, I'll find the time to really focus on it. Writing is something I've always been passionate about.
A book? That's incredible. What would it be about? I think it's important to have those dreams, even if they feel far off. They keep us motivated.
I've got a few ideas, mostly fiction. I love the idea of creating a world from scratch and telling stories that resonate with people. It's a lot like our work in a way, but with more creative freedom. What keeps you motivated day to day?
For me, it's the little things. Seeing progress, no matter how small, keeps me going. Also knowing that the work I'm doing makes a difference, even if it's just within our team. It's easy to get caught up in the grind, but I try to stay focused on the positives.
That's a great perspective. I think it's easy to lose sight of that when we're bogged down with tasks. I've been trying to be more mindful of those small victories too. It's the only way to stay sane sometimes.
Exactly. And finding time to connect with people outside of work, like this, is so important. We spend so much time with colleagues, but it's easy to forget to build real relationships.
True. It's nice to talk about something other than work for a change. I've really enjoyed this conversation. It's good to get to know you better outside the office setting.
Same here, Mark. It's refreshing to talk about our dreams and goals. It's easy to forget that there's more to life than just work. I think we should do this more often.
Definitely. Let's make it a regular thing. I think it's important to have these moments to recharge and stay connected. Plus, it's a nice reminder that we're more than just our job titles.
Agreed. Here's to more coffee dates and meaningful conversations. Thanks for today, Mark. I'm looking forward to the next one.